much about it, the emotions can overshadow logic. And I would like to remind people that back in December, when McHale couldn't hit a damn shot, people were saying bench McHale, or McHale's never going to be anything good, or McHale, this is why DAN McHale can't be a number 2 option.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's the number 1 option on the Nets, and everyone's like, we should have never traded McHale. Like, we cannot be prisoners of the moment like that every fucking day.
We also called Cam Johnson injury prone.
Right.
Like, I think we just need to focus less on the individual games and zoom out a little bit. Focus on the big picture a little bit more sometimes, which we're all guilty of. I don't know.
I don't understand.
It's a little crazy right now.
Like, you can't say, oh, this is what McHale's doing there, and it would have been exactly the same here.
Right.
It wouldn't have been.
No.
And Kevin Durant, go watch those 3 games the 3 games he played, right? And you look at that team, and you can't tell me that's not an NBA championship caliber team. And guess what? You're going to see it again in 2 weeks. They've got to play well enough to win some games here, but this isn't all is lost. Now, you start sliding, we can have a different conversation, and we can question how long does KD stay out at that point. But right now, you're still 4 games ahead of the bad part that you don't want to be in the West, and a game and a half again ahead of the 5th and 6th teams. So I'm not panicking yet. And this whole narrative changes if they come out and win tomorrow.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it's like, hey, great, the Suns.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Boo Boo's brother in the chat said, I think it's all right to be nervous. We're currently in 4th, but only 3 games ahead of being in the play-in tournament. I'm not saying, and I don't think any of us are saying, that you can't feel a little bit of nerves throughout this 2 to 3, however long period of time that Kevin Durant is out, that the Suns are going to drop a few games and potentially fall in the rankings. But I just don't want you to panic. That's the difference. Is I feel like a lot of it is panicking. Like, I think personally, if we're going as far as to saying that the Suns lost the trade, that our window is closed, like Kevin Durant has ruined the Suns, to me, that's panicking. If you're upset about the performance and upset about the lack of energy or communication or whatever it is that you're upset about, that's one thing. But I think there's a difference. And I think a lot of people are full-blown ready to, or already have hit the panic button. And I think that's a little premature.
I'm nervous. Like, anytime you see how close things are and a handful of games here or there could change it, yeah, I'm nervous, but I'm not going to just say, hey, the trade was a total mistake because of this. Now, if KD was out for the rest of the season in the playoffs, maybe that's a different conversation, but that's not the case. So I'm not going to sit here and act like all is lost. It's just a tougher road.
Okay, Marco in the chat said, so when do we panic?
When are
you guys prepared to panic?
When they fall into close to the play-in. That's when I'll panic.
Like, how close?
Like, when they're a game out of 7th.
Okay.
Like, that's when I'd panic.
Gerald, do you have a panic mode at all?
No.
Or are you just like, I'm good?
No. Why are we panicking? Unless we get a press release that Kevin Durant is out for the season and also may never play again, there's no reason to panic. Like, are you guys scared of the fucking Timberwolves in 7th? Are you scared of the Lakers or the Pelicans who have fallen apart? No, like, with a healthy Kevin Durant, this team is a title contender. They're better than all of the teams that are in this range. Like, yeah, first round matchup with the Warriors or the Clippers would be a rough way to start the playoffs, but I'm not panicking at all. There's no reason to fucking panic. Kevin Durant is the best player on the earth on any given night. He's up there with Giannis. He's up there with Joel Embiid, up there with Nikola Jokic as far as the title of best player on earth. Like, I'm just not even close to panicking on any of this.
But what if they're a game out of 7th?
I don't care. I don't give a shit. Like, look at the teams that they would play if they're 7th or 8th. Like, the Nuggets, we've been saying this whole time, like, no, you don't want to play the Nuggets in the first round. But we've been saying this whole time, we like the way the Suns match up with the Nuggets. The Grizzlies, we don't know when Ja Morant is going to be back. The Kings, this is their first playoff series in over a decade, and they've got a lot of inexperienced players, and the Suns have matched up really well with them all season. I hate the panic because it's crazy to me.
That was your pep talk, sponsored by PHNX.
Welcome to girls.
Get your shit together, everybody. It's gonna be okay.